His work has been nominated for 7 Golden Globes, 7 Grammy Awards, and the previous at least 3 Oscars. Films like, you saw some of them here, Rain Man, Gladiator, Lion King, As Good as It Gets, The Preacher's Wife, The Thin Red Line, Prince of Egypt, The Last Samurai, Inception, on and on and on. In addition to his incredible success, and this is something I want to talk to him about tonight, he is known for his unique ability to combine old and new musical technologies that truly integrate the electronic with traditional orchestral arrangements. His latest work, as you know, for Christopher Nolan's amazing film, Inception. Please welcome Hans Zimmer. Hans, thank you for coming.
Good intro.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're making me blush.
You were quoted in an interview as saying, the job isn't to do what the director has asked you to do, the job is to do what the director can't even imagine. Talk a little bit about that. When you sit down and someone like Christopher Nolan gives you a script for a film like Inception.
Well, Chris is so remarkable because, first of all, he's a great writer. So when he gives you a script, it's, God, you know, where to start. I mean, he's a writer-director. Big difference between a director who isn't a writer. Because, you know, usually when you read a script and it's not, the writer isn't the director,
sure,
you have to sort of fill in a little bit. But when Chris gives you a script, it really, you know, it's really going to be, that's what he's going to put on the screen.
Yeah.
And he's in... you look, I've been asked this question, I cannot find the word. Humble is the wrong word, but he's so gracious. He turns over the script to you, and then he just wants to have a chat about it. You know, and it's like he distances himself virtually from that it's his thing. So when you say, you know, I don't like that scene or whatever, or, you know, I don't get this bit, or whatever, he doesn't take offense. It's just an open conversation.
Right, right.
And of course, he knows that I come at it from... The only way I can say it is I come from a position of love for his work and for his script and
sure,
for him as a friend, and so he knows whatever criticisms I have aren't, you know, mean and bitchy and horrible. But it's really, you know, the job is, what is that part that Chris couldn't think of that I can go and fill in?
Sure,
and
sure.
Help, you know, help, because this wasn't an easy sell, this movie.
Yeah.
You know, this took a bit of time before people were convinced that we could even pull it off.
There are so many levels to what's going on just with the script. Then you had to come in and kind of match those levels in some way.
Well, look, Chris works in a very private way. There are very few people who got to read the script. Most of the actors didn't get to read the whole script. And Chris actually told me a sweet story when he finally showed it to the actors. You know, and we only show things when we are, you know, 99% there. We show people something.
Yeah.
You know, he said they all came up to him afterwards with the same look on their faces, which was sort of, wow, we never thought you would actually pull it together, but you seem to have pulled it together. They were just incredulous that this, you know, this bit of, you know, they all had this like little bits of information that would actually add up to something.
Do you think that in either in Inception or some of the other films that you worked on, that a lot of times the score can be the glue that in fact connects the dots, whether for the audience or for the actors? Inception
is, you know, it's great sticking with Inception in a way because it's very specific about what I saw as my job. I didn't think, by the way, this story was hard to understand because Chris had written it beautifully. But I knew that it was, you know, it wasn't your normal movie. It was going to be different.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, you know, that this is what my job was. I wanted the audience to pretend they were in a little boat on a river that was, you know, doing things. I mean, going pretty fast. And all I wanted you to do is trust the river. The music was going to be this river that was just going to sweep you along. And if occasionally there were a couple of rocks and a couple of bumpy bits, just trust the river. It's going to keep going. It's going to get you to the end. And you're going to have an adventure. and an emotional underpinning to
Sure.
the thing. I mean, the
Sure.
things I honed on right away on the script, was this tragic love story.